Hey everybody, it's Gamer Grampz. Today we are playing a domination game with Gran Colombia. We're on DD difficulty as always, however we do take things a little bit slower here so that new players can follow along and learn some things to take it back to your own game. So if that sounds like it's something that might help you out, then definitely stick around. If you want to get good at Civ 6, then subscribe and click the bell to keep up with this channel. Alright, so clearly this isn't our first game in the series. If you did stumble across here randomly, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner of the screen. You can catch up if you want to. Other than that, we are going to jump right back into things. We are entering the medieval era. We just earned ourselves a golden age. In fact, we rolled over into a golden age. I mean, it was pretty absurd the amount of era score we wasted and couldn't avoid it, unfortunately. So we have a few choices here. Well, really just two. In all seriousness, the first one here, pre-inquiry, it was actually, I thought this is what I was going to choose for. Like, I was thinking about it as far as domination games go, and I was like, okay, Eureka provides an additional 10% of technology costs. That's going to help us get the science we need to get better unit, and commercial hubs and harbor districts gold adjacency bonus provides science as well. And I was like, hey, we just conquered the Mali, we have a whole bunch of commercial hubs, that should probably be a pretty good choice. And that's where I was leaning towards, compared to I normally take monumentality golden ages this early in the game in most games that I play, but I don't play domination games very often, so that's why I'd been leaning towards that. And I thought, the more I thought about it and I was going to do it, then I was like, hey, you know what, let's take a look at these awesome freaking commercial hubs that we just took over. And it didn't register at first. Oh, we took over a bunch of Sagubas, which have their own set of adjacencies and all that kind of crap. So if you really take a look at it, we will have this one here, which will be a +3 Saguba once we finish taking the city, because it's adjacent to two districts between the city and our own commercial hub here, and then the river. So we'll have +3, +2. This Saguba doesn't have plus anything. It's a dumpster fire piece of shit one, so that doesn't count towards our science at all. So right now we're only at +5 science for all the commercial hubs we have, and then we have one more up here with +2. So it would only give us +7 science, which realistically isn't that good, considering there's no way in hell that we're going to get commercial hubs going in the capital or Quito here. Like, it's just not happening this early in the game because we have other things we are trying to prioritize before that. And so that is what led me to the decision that we are going to go for the monumentality golden age. It's going to help our builders traverse our terrain a little bit better because they'll have the extra movement charge. We'll be able to spend the limited faith income we do have on some builders and settlers and whatnot. And yeah, so that is the route that we are going to go. Hey everybody, Gamer Grampz here. I'm quickly interrupting just to say that if you're enjoying the video, please do me a favor and leave a like on it if you haven't already. It does really go a long way towards helping the channel get discovered, and clearly you know it by now. I'm special. I need all the help I can get, right? Alright, so a few different things here. First off, we're going to switch out of feudalism, and the reason being is that we have 6 farms, or will have in like 2 seconds here. If we take a look, we got 6 farms, so as soon as we conquer their last city here and repair these 2 farms, we will get the boost to feudalism. So there's no point wasting culture and like hard researching in it. It's not really going to help us out that much that soon here. We're not going to be buying any builders in the meantime before we quickly conquer that and repair those 2 things. So we're going to hold off on buying any more builders other than the one that's building here in the capital, and that will be worth it. Then we'll slot in serfdom for the 2 extra builder charges before we get any more with our faith or whatever. So in the meantime, we are going to switch into drama and poetry, and the reason being, we are headed towards mercenaries because we want to be able to obviously upgrade our units as quickly as we can. However, other than going for mercenaries and exploration up here to get to our next form of government, we want to head to diplomatic service as fast as we possibly can. And the reason being is it's going to allow us to create spies. And in case you don't know, the spy has a wonderful function where it actually allows you to get, if you do a mission inside of the enemy territory that you're about to attack or you are at war with, you can actually get yourself +3 combat strength for all of your units when you're fighting them, as long as you have a spy stationed. I believe it's called a listing post mission. We'll have to double check it once we actually get the spies, but that is what we're going to be headed for next after we do get to exploration. So it's not going to be the end of the world if we take a little bit of a detour here while we conquer this last city and then repair those 2 farms. And so in the meantime, we'll head to drama and poetry and then into recorded history after that. And that has the added bonus too of getting us to recorded history that much quicker, because recorded history will give us another governor title, which will allow us to easier deal with the loyalty problems once we do start our war with Cleopatra. All right, now speaking of starting our war with Cleopatra, we kind of have come to an impasse because she isn't, like, we're ahead of her in technology now. However, she's far enough in technology where she's going to have crossbows. Like, if we take a look at the tech tree here, you can see we're in the classical era, we're behind the times here, and she's all the way up there in the medieval era, which means she will have access to crossbows very shortly if she doesn't already. So what we are going to do instead is we're actually going to sharpen our knives a little bit here on Antioch. The reason being, for one, she took over suzerainship of them, and she's so far out of our reach, like at 6 envoys, that it's just, there's no way that we're actually going to be able to catch up with her. So what we're going to do is we're going to beeline for machinery here, and that's going to unlock crossbows for us, which we'll be able to then take advantage of them when we go after her. And we're going to upgrade with the limited gold that we do have. We're going to upgrade as many crossbows as we can and then attack Antioch. And between our crossbows and our horsemen and our catapults, we'll be able to make short work of the city-state. However, if you take a closer look here, they have a lot of developed tiles that we'll be able to harvest for money. For one, they have the commercial hub, so that's a good harvest. They have a mine here, and a mine there, and a mine there. So that's 3 mines, which is 3 different tiles that we'll be able to pillage for gold. And then they have a quarry, which I think is faith. So, but either way, that's 4 separate tiles that we'll be able to pillage to get a gold. And we're going to make sure that we have the raid policy card on. That's going to give us 50% more resources from our pillages, and then basically the gold that we take from Antioch we're gonna use that to then upgrade all of our horsemen to coursers, and it should time out pretty perfectly that then we'll just basically roll over Egypt between our crossbows and the coursers we have, and we'll pillage as we go, obviously, and then use the money that we take from Egypt to get the rest of our horses up into coursers as we go along here. But anywho, enough talking, let's just set our plans into motion. So we still do have Magnus is coming down here to Quito. We're going to want to have builders ready and waiting for them to charge. Oh, actually, you know what, that changes. No, we can wait, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll let that one builder come out, and we're going to wait because we'll want to do encampment training anyways, because we want to get a great general so that we can stack our combat bonuses between the great general and our Commadante Generals here. We will, however, move this one up to the north, so that we're going to be coming in with a second wave of forces up towards the north. Like, we'll come basically from the south and the north after we deal with Antioch, so we'll have 1 general in each of our little waves of troops, which will definitely help out. In the meantime, there's no point having all of our troops here towards Egypt, so we're going to go ahead and get ready so that we can basically just wreck Antioch in one fell swoop, essentially, once we are ready. So what we're going to do with our crossbows getting ahead of myself, with our archers as well, we're going to move them into position here, and we're going to start with moving our archers that have the highest promotions available, because those are the ones we're going to prioritize upgrading into crossbows first, in case we can't afford to upgrade all of our archers. Might as well make sense to upgrade the ones that can actually do the most damage in the quickest amount of time. Alright, meanwhile down here, let's go ahead and do our best to finish off the Mali. So we're going to start with our horses that have the most health, so that they deal the most damage in the quickest amount of times. But this definitely shouldn't be taking us too long here. I imagine within a turn or two, they should be toast, and we can work on healing these farms here. I think I will hold off on attacking with this horseman here because it's damaged so much, and they do have that catapult in there, and I know the catapults don't do much damage, but I don't want them sniping our horsemen if in case we injure ourselves too much, and then they're able to finish us off with it. When you're on, especially when you're on higher difficulty levels, you want to do everything you can to avoid losing units whenever. I mean, I know that just sounds like, well, of course, but you know, it's even more important on the higher difficulties to do everything you possibly can to keep your troops troops alive for as long as you possibly can. There we go. They were nice enough to target. Alright, so we got a World Congress here. Let's take a look. I'm not really trading with any city-states, so I'm not worried about it, but let's go ahead and choose a trade one just anyways, because we do have that suzerain. We are suzerain of another trade city-state there, so in case that goes through, that would be nice, because we're probably going to have very limited options as to who we can actually send our traders to, because everybody's going to be hating us pretty soon. Other than that, let's go ahead and pick ourselves for this as well. Not that it really matters, but we'll give it a shot. Alright, so somebody doesn't like Lady Six Guy. They're pissed at her, so they chose it to make her inflict more grievances. And so if we find a religious city-state that we can trade with, that might help. Just wanted to take a sec to let you know I'm now an official partner of Fanatical Games. They're a great company that you can buy 100% guaranteed official game keys from, which is great because you purchase a Steam key, so you don't have to worry about using a different installer like Epic Games or EA's Origin. You can find links in the description down below for both the Windows and Mac versions of the games I usually cover on the channel. But if you're buying anything else, just leave a comment below and I can give you a link for any game you're looking to buy. Believe it or not, they have deals on regularly that are even cheaper than purchasing directly from Steam itself. A perfect example of this is the New Frontier Pass for Civ VI. I literally bought it directly from Steam yesterday when it was launched, only to find out that it's on sale for 12% cheaper at Fanatical for the next 6 days. So before grabbing your next game, consider checking out fanatical.com to help yourself and help support me at the same time. We do have a couple of them that are close by, so we might take advantage of us. The only thing is they are very close to Egypt, so it doesn't really make sense for us to send a lot of trade routes because there'll be convenient targets for her to just like swoop down a little bit and plunder if we can't stop them. Alright, so we finished our builder here, which is going to be useful for us when we do start chopping down in that city. We can buy builders with faith, and that's pretty much what we're going to be concentrating on doing. So in the meantime, what we want to do here in the capital is we're going to put it on food focus. That's going to shave 1 turn off of our population growth. We're waiting until we get to 7 population so that we can start our encampment here in the capital, and that's what we're going to prioritize. In the meantime, though, we'll just get started on a catapult. The reason being is that catapults, you don't have a policy card that helps you build siege weapons faster. The only civilization in the game that has a boost towards building siege units faster is the Ottomans. So I would consider it a waste of production if we were to start building, for instance, like a horseman or a swordsman or something like that without having the policy card on that boosts production towards that item, because you're better off spending your production on things that cannot be boosted rather than throwing it into things that can be boosted if you don't have the policy card in like you should in order to make things go faster. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really, really is, especially as you go further along and play further along. Or sorry, especially as the game goes further along. Like the more times you do it, the bigger of difference it does make as it like accumulates throughout the game, sort of like compound interest, if that makes sense. Anyway, so with our builder here, let's just go ahead and get them to head down towards Quito so that they're ready when we do. Have the policy card on. Luckily for us, it won't be much of a wait. It's going to time out perfectly. We're going to be finished drama and poetry next turn when Magnus is established, and then we'll switch back into maneuver in order to chop us out some cavalry while we're here. And as far as what we're going to be doing in the city here, they just finished their encampment, so we're immediately going to start work on encampment training. We want to do everything we possibly can in order to get our great general as fast as we possibly can. I don't think we'll be able to get this one here because we are kind of a little bit late to the game. It looks like Khmer will probably beat us to it, but that doesn't mean it's going to stop us from trying. And if we don't get that great general, we want to be as farther. Fuck me, I can't talk. As far along. Jesus, there we go. We want to be as far along as we possibly can in order to grab the next great general that gets unlocked as quickly as we can, even though it'll be like a higher cost that we have to do. Other than that, let's just get our great general up here with the second half of the army, or what will be the second half of the army, I guess I should say. And then down here, we finish our commercial hub. That is great. We're going to go ahead and repair the granary. We want the city to grow as quick as it possibly can. Unfortunately for us, that doesn't leave us a lot to work with here. As you can see, it doesn't help at all. We want to get them to 4 population so that we can get another district in here. Most likely a campus, in order to boost our science as quickly as we can, because we clearly have a ways to go before we catch up with the top of the pack. Other than that though, what I am going to do is we're going to come down here to Nyani, and now that we can purchase things with faith, what I'm going to do is purchase a settler with faith. Now, little asterisks here, this is not an efficient thing that I'm about to do. This is a, hey, it's YouTube, let's have some fucking fun in our game thing that we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here and we are going to build a Petra city just for the hell of it. So we're gonna get the settler. Actually, I won't control it like that in case they get caught up by Muscat's units here. But what we're gonna do is, the plan anyway, is we're gonna settle our city here, which will give us some nice air score for settling near the Wonder, because as you can see, when they settled, they didn't settle within 2 tiles of it with either of these cities, so we can still get the +3 air score there for us doing it. So that will get us that. We're going to plan to build Petra right here, and then we'll build ourselves a campus right here as quickly as we can. It'll be a nice campus because this gets +2 from each of these tiles, so this will actually be a +5 campus, and that's without any added like power adjacencies at all. So like what we'll do is we'll put this one here. It's going to be a +5 to start with, and then once Nyani gets back to 4 population, we'll get them to put their campus right here, which will be a +4 campus. Well, it will be in a second, because our next thing that we're going to add to our plan here, so this will actually be a +6, I should say. Sorry, my bad. So this will be a +6 campus, because we're Comba Salai, or however, or Cumbi Salai. We're going to put their campus here as well. Just double check that. Yeah, that does work out properly. And then, so this one will be +2, +3, and this will be a +4 as well. So we'll have 3 solid campuses, which will go a long way towards helping us get our science game up as quickly as we can to where it should be, so that we can really steamroll in technologies, which will help us just completely walk over all of our enemies as quickly as we possibly can. And we have the added bonus of being able to chop these 3 forests here into the Petra, and then make a decent Petra city here, just for some shits and giggles. Like I said, this isn't the most efficient thing. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I literally could, even if we did settle this city, I could just chop those 3 tiles. I probably could settle right here instead and end up getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because then this city can get, oh no, that would be out of the question. So sorry, I can get 5, those 5 chops can be 5 more cavalry units that we send to the front line to help steamroll people. So technically this isn't efficient, but what the hell, you gotta have fun sometimes, right? Can't always just be about completely min-maxing. Alright, so we got our troops here in a little bit better position. The catapults I moved up to the north a little bit because they don't have to be in our territory, because obviously we're not going to be upgrading them anytime soon where our archers do. So this way we'll have a little bit better spread here and be able to attack a little bit more efficiently once we do get our upgrades here. And I think it'll be about 5 turns, and hopefully that should time out pretty well. If we take a look here, we'll instantly be able to get feudalism, and then in 6 turns we'll have, after that we'll have mercenaries. So wait, yeah, we did boost it. Okay, I'm seeing things, don't mind me. Anyway, let's go ahead down here and we'll take the promotion. Oh, never mind, I thought this horse did earn the promotion. we'll go ahead and hit them with our more healthiest units first in order to deal the most damage. This one got a promotion, so we'll go ahead and take that. Now, I am... normally, I like to go down this route right here because I like to be at the pillaging, only costing 1 movement tile with light cavalry. However, we're going to be facing Cleopatra soon, and she has her special like horse archers, like chariot archers, and then she's going to have crossbows, and then on top of that we have Nubia in the game who has like her unique archer, which is obviously going to be upgraded to crossbows by the time we fight, but still. And then the same thing with frickin' Lady Six Guy, she has her unique archers, which are probably going to be upgraded to crossbows. But anyways, long story short, there's a lot of civilizations in the game that have archer units, so I'm going to basically be upgrading all of our horsemen down the Coursers path here in order to get the attacking +5 combat strength against them, because once we get later on into the game here, we're not going to be using our light cavalry, which is what all of our horsemen and coursers, etc., will be, to attack cities very often unless they don't have city walls. We're going to be doing most of the heavy lifting with our catapults and bombards and stuff in order to wipe out the city walls before the horsemen engage. So having that +5 combat strength against anti-cavalry isn't that big of a deal. And let's go ahead and finish the city off here. Good riddance. Alright, so we got our 5 era score there. It definitely was worth holding on to the conquering in order to get the era score, actually have the air score actually help us towards securing our next golden age rather than having wasted that era score previously. Other than that though, there's no reason to keep troops down here and whatnot for loyalty reasons, because obviously there's no loyalty pressure from the enemy anymore. In the meantime though, we are going to immediately get them to repair their monument as quickly as they can, and we have our friendly builder here to go ahead and repair the farm, and then next turn we'll repair that farm and we'll get that boost towards feudalism and start making our way towards the mercenary civic in order to upgrade all of our troops again. Meanwhile, this horseman is all healed up, so we'll get them to head up to the north here. With the rest of these units though, because they are a little bit hurt, what we'll do is just have them heal up on the way. We'll have this one head up to that city there, that horseman can stay there, and we'll send that one to Nyani, and they'll heal up a little bit faster inside of the cities, and then we'll have them head up north once they're all healed up and ready to go again. Alright, so it looks like we're locked in right now because Lady Six Guy closed her borders. She shouldn't have a problem opening them back up for us because we are declared friends, so we'll go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, we should also take a look here, and she'll take 30 of our iron. You can tell because she'll always trade for strategics up until she has 40. So we're going to trade her 30 there, and then we'll see what she'll give us for that as well. And you can see she's quite interested. So we're going to take all of her bulk cash, and then we'll take the rest in gold per turn, what little she will give us other than that. And now we did have that one other luxury that we can trade to, so let's take a look and see what we can get for the amber from the other one. So Alex will give us 8, or the Khmer. Let's see. We'll do open borders with them. But let's see. Oh, they already have it. All right, so that settles that. We'll take the 8 from Alex. I want to get these deals in as quickly as we can, because they're probably going to denounce us very quickly. So we'll take all of Alex's bulk gold, and then the rest of it in gold per turn here. Meanwhile, I forgot to take a look quickly and see. There you go. We can get rid of the rest of our 14 iron, and we'll take cash from him. Again, it's always you make more money taking gold per turn. However, gold per turn doesn't help us out when we want to upgrade our crossbows and our horsemen as quickly as we can, right? We want to get this war going as quickly as possible, so that's why we're focusing on gold per turn rather than, that's why we're focusing on bulk gold rather than gold per turn, even though you do make more in the long run if you take the gold per turn rather than lump sum. Other than that though, what we'll do now that we've opened up the borders again, we're just going to tell the scout to head into there to bust up the fog of war, and then we're going to head east with the scout and come into here to take a better look through Khmer and take a look through the Scythian Empire as well, and find out who's going to be the better victim for us to attack next. after Egypt. Most likely what we're probably going to do anyway is attack both of them, but at least we'll have a better idea of exactly what the terrain looks like in order to give us a little bit of an advantage. Because if you take a look here, generally you want to be looking at science when you're deciding who to attack next. And they're pretty much neck and neck. Like Scythia has 72 and Khmer 61, so Scythia is a little bit more advanced, but not too much. Like they're obviously going to be pretty close to each other as far as technology and units go. So looks like we made the deal just in the nick of time because Alex actually denounced us. So if I wouldn't have made that trade before we ended our turn, he would have actually denounced us, and we couldn't have made that turn. So thank you, Alex, for making the trade deal with me before you got pissy. And same thing with the Khmer there. So there you go. We just in the nick of time. Ooh. All right. So we got a military emergency here. Let's see who's going to attack us and who's not going to. We might end up going into war with everybody, which is going to be a little bit misfortunate. But at least if that does happen, we have our troops set up to really squash that city-state, and we'll do all the same things. It'll just be a little bit harder because now we'll have to fend off Cleopatra before we have upgraded all of our troops. So let's see how this goes. All right, well, it failed. So apparently people don't hate us that much. Either that or they're scared of our army. That's probably the real reason. All right, now that we got that, we're going to come here because Magnus is established. So what we're going to do is quickly switch our policies. We are going to leave in veterancy because we're working on the encampments and encampment projects and all that shit. Well, sorry, we're working on the encampment in the capital. I don't believe this works towards the actual city projects or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch out conscription, and we're going to go ahead and put maneuver back in so we can get the production towards cavalry. Other than that, we build... Why did I have corvée slotted in? I don't remember building... Why did I have corvée slotted in? We didn't build a fucking wonder, and we weren't planning on it. Like, I'm planning on the Petra, but that's nothing I would actually have the cords slotted in for. Am I crazy? Like, I want to get the Terracotta Army, but not right this second. Is that what I was going to do or something? No, I don't even have the freaking technology for Terracotta. That is weird. Huh. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go back and look. I must have misclicked or something like that, because I don't know why I would have it in. But I'm going to have to go back and check the second episode. Anyway, sorry, enough rambling here. Let's get rid of conscription. We're going to go ahead and put maneuver in like we talked about. Land surveyors, we are done buying territory, so we are going to go and we're putting in strategos for the +2 great general points, because again, we want to hit that great general as fast as humanly possible. And we will be switching policies again, so I'm not worried about not having raid in at the moment, because we're not declaring war this complete second. We're waiting to upgrade our crossbows first. Other than that, we're just going to put in urban planning for the +1 production and all things. Alright, so we have our horsemen all starting to get healed up there, and we're going to come here and repair this, which will actually trigger that bonus for us. Alright, so we're going to leave that in place right now. However, we are going to head straight towards mercenaries, because like we already talked about, we want to end up getting our troops upgraded and starting that war as quick as we possibly can, and we definitely need the discount on gold before we are going to be able to upgrade as many of them as we want to. I'm an idiot. I forgot about the pyramids. That's why we had corvée, and I didn't even have to look at the other episode, because I just clicked on the builder and I'm like, 4 builds? What the fuck? I was like, I don't have freaking Liang yet. And then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, and then it clicked in. I know. Like I said, I am special, see? Anyway, let's keep going here. So now that we have the maneuver policy card in, we are going to go ahead and start chopping. So we're going to quickly come here into the queue, and we're going to come down to our nice horseman here, and we'll put that up first, and this, oops, shit. And this will go ahead and chop out the horsemen as quickly as we can. It takes 1 turn per chop when you're chopping a forest or stone. And so we'll get him to head down to that forest next, and when he gets there, we'll do the same thing. In the meantime, though, we'll get these horsemen to come up towards the north here so that we have that second wave that we were talking about. Ooh, Jesus, that's a little bit rough. Let's do what we can to cross over, and hopefully we don't die to that. There we go. Other than that, this is the healed up horseman, so what we'll do is head up yonder, and hopefully when we start the fight, we'll be able to take advantage of some terrain here. It sounds like we got a city-state quest. Oh, maybe not, because they all have quests that are open. So, oh, it must trade route capacity. That's what that sound was. Yeah. Yep, increased trade route capacity. Great. So that is awesome. What we will do now is go ahead and take advantage of that faith. Oh wait, I don't think we'll have quite enough. Yeah. So never mind. But we will take advantage of some of our gold. In the meantime, I'm probably going to be building it here in the capital. Oh yeah, we definitely are. Sorry. We're switching out of this catapult now, though, because we got our encampment. So we're going to go ahead and drop that down. What I was talking about when I was like, oh, we're probably going to end up building it in the capital is the Terracotta Army. So let's just go ahead and place that down now if we can find it here. There we go. So because of that, what I'm going to do is actually purchase, now that we have that new trade route, I'm going to purchase the trader here in the capital, and I'm going to do an internal trade route. And this won't help us with our gold situation right now. However, it will help us get that wonder out, because I'm going to spend most of our chops that we have in the capital on units and then districts in order to get them done faster. So I think we're going to build the Terracotta Army the hard way, but I'm not 100% sold on that. We'll see. Other than that, we finish our encampment here. So again, same thing as the other place. We're just immediately going to go into encampment training. And we finished something. Oh, Jesus. We finished repairing their granary, I think it was. But although it's going to take forever, we'll start working on a builder so that we can chop this tile here and build a farm or something so that they can actually get some health. Or some growth, I mean. Meanwhile, this is the capital. We'll go ahead and repair their watermill. Alright, so we didn't die. That's a good thing. There you go. So we have her all scouted out. Let's head towards the Khmer next. Alright, so our horse is healed up here. So we'll get it to head towards the north there. And we'll go ahead and get this builder to repair this mine. Other than that, though, now that it's all fixed up, I think what we'll go ahead and do is we'll build them one farm here to complete the farming triangle and get a little bit of a boost for all three of them. And then we'll get it to head up north so that it's ready. It can help us chop out the Petra here in this city as quickly as it can. And then that way we'll be able to save the builders that we buy for them in order to build us mines once we have Petra up that much quicker. Alright, so they finished repairing the watermill here in Niani. We want them to grow as quickly as possible, so let's get them to start on the granary. Again, we're looking to get them up to 4 population as quickly as humanly possible, so we want to put them on food focused as well, so that we can get this campus up as quickly as we can. So here in the new city, we have the granary, which helps with culture and with loyalty. So what we're going to do, even though we do want them to grow as quickly as we can, we're going to put this in a queue here, and we're going to repair the commercial hub first, and then we'll repair the granary after that, because repairing the commercial hub is going to increase our gold by 3 per turn, so that's why I'm prioritizing doing it first over the growth of that city. Our horseman finally made it up here. Let's keep him in our territory for now. After machinery here, we're going to immediately go straight towards castles. So, within 9 turns, we will be able to start upgrading our Coursers as well. So that will definitely help out. Meanwhile, our builder made it over here. You can see right away how the movement and stuff from our Golden Age monumentality dedication helps out. So again, we'll go ahead and get a horseman going and immediately chop it out. Oh, I didn't even see that forest there. That was my bad. We could have gone to that one. But since we're on this side of the river, we'll go ahead and head up to that forest first and then finish off there. But meanwhile, again, immediately back into the encampment training here for them. And we'll send the horses up here to play. And now that we have this trade route here, we are going to focus on production here, and we'll take the 2 food and 2 production here from Quito. I am tempted to get the free envoy from Vatican City. Hold on. Oh no, never mind. Look at that trade route. I was like, maybe if we go this way and come down throughout the south, we'd be fine. Jesus. Ugh. Almost died there. But yeah, no, definitely not. When our trade route goes through the heart of Egypt and we're about to go to war with them, I don't think that's such a good idea. So we're going to stick with the original plan we had for the 2 food and 2 production. We'll go ahead and grab that now. It's also going to help them get their encampment up and running a little bit quicker, which will be nice too. So has a lot of different bonuses aside from just, you know, not dying. Other than that though, we are going to keep going here. Again, some more of our horsies are healed up, so we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating here. Getting our troops to come up so that they're close and ready to go. Alright, so she's getting a little bit worried that we have troops in here. It's funny though, because we're actually not even getting ready to attack her quite yet. So, that's fine. We did get machinery though, which is great.
Remember that people break down too, not just machinery.
Great for us anyway. Because of the brain fart, because of us being able to upgrade the crossbows. Crossbows are only good when they're controlled by you. So it looks like, unfortunately, Muscat kind of got in our way here. So we'll have to take a detour of 1 turn and we'll go and move here. So hopefully they'll move there and we can move into the closer route. But either way, we'll be able to head here next turn because the swordsman won't be able to move here and then here. So no matter what, next turn we'll be able to move towards where we want to settle. Alright, we finished the market in Segu, which is great. We'll go ahead... Actually, they have good production. We'll go ahead and get them to make a trader. I was going to buy the trader, but we might as well save it. And now it really looks like Antioch days are numbered. Ah, son of a bitch. Alright, so Khmer's borders are closed to us, and because they've denounced us, they won't give us open borders. It's just not an option for the next, like, 20-some turns. So we're just going to have to do what we can to kind of scout alongside the outside of their territory, and then we'll have to do the same thing with everybody, because everybody denounced us. The only person we can actually travel through is the Mayans. Alright, so our builder friend has made it on his journey here. So again, we're going to go ahead and put another horseman in. Choppy choppy. And we'll get him to go to that last forest after he's done. And just get our troops to keep coming and moving up towards the north. Now, we got 3 turns left on that encampment. 3 turns. 3 turns. 3, 3, 3. So that is coming along good. Let's take a look at our great people. Yeah, see, like, Khmer's going to get this first one here. But we're at 32 right now, and that's going to quickly skyrocket as we continue to do these projects, because as we finish the projects, we're just going to keep recycling them, and we'll be able to quickly jump up and catch the next one, which should basically, I think, should time out pretty well to after we finish killing Antioch here, which is going to be very quickly. We're going to start attacking them next turn, and it shouldn't take us very long there. And then I think what we'll pretty much do is attack Egypt as soon as we get castles and upgrade our Corsairs. Alright, so meanwhile, as you can see here, it didn't matter where they moved. Our horse here is done, so we'll get them to head up north as well. You can just wait, my pretty friend. Might as well... it'll be over by the time you get there. We'll just have them go there and wait. Okay, so our builder is in place, ready to go. Yes, yes. We'll be making you happy in just a minute,
We
Alex.
just go wherever there's a mixture of
In case you don't know, he likes it when you go to war. Alright, so we're going to change policies here. Oops, before we switch, so this is what I always say, before you get ahead of yourself, like I just about did. I got excited. Oh, we got our Civic, let's switch into freaking, you know, the discount and upgrade our units and let's fucking do this and go to war. I almost forgot that. Take advantage of the policy cards that you do have slotted in right now. So maneuver, I'm pretty sure our builder, oh no, never mind. I think it's going to be, okay, well, it still makes sense what I was trying to say. I was pretty sure that the builder would be able to make it to that tile, so I would have chopped that last horseman out and then switch mercenaries, switch maneuver out as well. However, that's not going to work out this time around, so we will go ahead and get maneuver out of there, and we're actually going to get strategos out of there as well. Actually, no, we'll put maneuver back in. Because then we won't, yeah. We'll just get rid of strategos, because we'll be able to upgrade our troops. We're using the professional gold one, because we don't need strategic resources to upgrade either our horsemen or our archers, because they don't need it. So that is why we're choosing that one. And then I'm leaving this maneuver in quickly right now, because then after, oops, confirm. After we do this chop here, like when the builder gets there next turn, we'll chop that extra horseman out, and then we will be able to switch out of the policy card altogether and pretty much be done with it for the foreseeable future. In the meantime, though, we want to work towards exploration as quickly as we can. However, we are going to take a quick detour like we talked about earlier. We want to get recorded history because we want the governor title that it's going to open up for us. Not to mention, too, it actually gives us natural philosophy, which will help us with our science production. We won't be slotting that in right this second, I don't think. We'll take a look, though, after we get the technology to see how much help it'll be. We might end up waiting until we get those 3 campuses, or at least one of those 3 campuses that we're building in the territory where the Mali used to be. I had to think about that for a second. I was going to call them the Mansa. But anyways, so we'll go ahead and get recorded. We're going to get recorded history first there. Now, you know what? Hold on one second. I want to get the boost to diplomatic service, and she's going to hate us. So let's see here. Un momento, por favor. Who's closest to 10? Bogota is, and they'll get there once we do these chops, which we're going to do once Magnus gets up there. So yeah, actually that's what we're going to do instead. Sorry. So civic-wise, we're actually going to delay going up to exploration for a tiny little bit here. It'll actually give us a chance to get a 4th trade route, which will help us boost medieval fairs as well. So in the long run, it's probably going to actually save us quite significantly amount of time-wise. But what we're going to do here, we're going to get recorded history. Then we're going to go for civil service next. We're at least going to research it until the boost, like so 60% of the civic, because that way we want to declare an alliance with Lady Six Guy, so that we can boost right here diplomatic service, which will allow us to get Machiavellianism, the policy card, in order to get spies that much quicker. Oh wait, I thought civil service allows you to do it, but it's not. It's diplomatic service to get that spy that we want for the +3 combat strength. But anyways, that's why we're going to do it that way. And then we'll pivot up towards that other government policy card, because I'm not worried about that. We're just going to hard research castles. We're only 6 turns away. It's not like it makes sense, in my opinion, to put that off. Yeah. Looks like we got another envoy here. Let's take a quick look at that. We're still suzerain of Muscat. We don't have the suzerainship of anybody else. We can't become suzerain of anybody else by using just one envoy. Ooh, nobody is the suzerain of Valletta. So we're going to hold on to it, but as soon as we get one more envoy, we're going to send both of them to Valletta and take suzerainship of them. We won't be able to trigger this inspiration, unfortunately. It's triggered the inspiration for theology, which is found a religion. So, like, if you take a look here, theology is right here, found a religion. So we're not going to be be doing that, because unfortunately it doesn't count as founding a religion when you conquer an entire nation and take their religion. So it's just nothing we can do there. Unfortunately for Antioch here, we can go ahead and upgrade our crossbows, or our archers to crossbows now, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Oh, I was a meathead. I sent that other archer out of our territory. Okay, so I misclicked there, so what we're going to do is pop you back one tile, and you there, and we'll upgrade you. There you go. And then next turn we can get them, and I'll still keep the horse by right here. And again, we'll wait until next turn before we attack. There's no point declaring war on them now when all of our units, well, the majority of our crossbows and stuff can't even attack this turn. So next turn, they will... That's basically going to be all she wrote for them. Meanwhile... We'll move in a little bit closer there. Ooh, loyalty problems.
Is the version of past events that people have decided to rely on.
Alright, so before we go ahead and change our policy cards here, let's take a quick look at the list of reports. We're going to go into the policy report, which is not part of the normal game. This is from one of the UI mods I use. Oh, this is like fucking a wet dream of a mod. Look at this. So opening the policy cards here. So it's going to tell us literally for every single different policy card that we can switch into, it's going to tell you the exact yield that it's giving you. For instance, like conscription, save 1 gold off of every unit, like maintenance cost. We have 17 units, so that's 17 gold that it's saving us per turn, and it just has everything's like right there for you, right? So what we want to do is check natural philosophy, and look, it's actually going to increase our science by 13, and to me that is definitely worthwhile. That's basically a 25% increase in total of our science yield. So remember how I was like, oh, we might wait until we get these 3 campuses on? No, I'm just doing it right now because that's definitely worthwhile. And I would have had to figure that out. I would have had to like come here and go into empire mode and count all these up. Okay, 1. Oh, no, none down here. Oh, 5, 4, you get it, 4 and 4, so there you go. 8 and 5 is 13, so, oh, this is under construction, so that one didn't even count. But anyways, you get the point. Like, I mean, that's not the end of the world, but you can imagine, though, if we had 20 fucking cities, that would be the end of the world as far as I'm concerned, to sit there and go city by city 20 times and count 20 different 20 different campuses up by yourself. So that is just amazing as far as mods goes, if you ask me. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop urban planning, and we're gonna go ahead and put in. Oh wait, shit! Getting ahead of myself again. We need to upgrade our last. Oops, misclicked. We're gonna upgrade our last archer there for cheap. In the meantime, we have to wait until castles to do any more upgrading, so we can switch out of that. And then also, just like I said here, you always want to take advantage of your policy cards you have slotted in before you change them. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get our last horseman here, and we'll quickly chop them out. Now that we got that done, we can actually go and change our policies, and we don't need maneuver anymore, so we'll totally get rid of that one. And the same thing with professional army, right? So that way you're getting the most bang for your buck, essentially, because I was about to switch out urban planning there, but now we can keep. Oh wait, never mind, I take that back, because I forgot we want strategos. I was going to say we can keep urban planning, but it's more important to get that great general as fast as we can. So we're going to ditch urban planning there, and we're going to put in, oops, not serfdom, natural philosophy to really boost our science. And we're keeping veterancy in because we are going to be building, like, we're building an encampment, but we're also going to be building encampment buildings. So we're leaving that in right now, but we're going to go ahead and put in raid here to increase our pillaging from 50%. And we'll confirm. All right. In the meantime, now let's take a look at the governors, because we just got that governor slot, so this is perfect timing. Now we can finally promote Victor again here. So in case you don't know, when you're playing a domination game, Victor is amazing for a lot of different reasons. the majority of it being this one right here, Garrison Commander, this promotion. So units defending within the city's territory get +5 combat strength, which isn't that big of a deal because 99% of the time you're not going to be in your own territory, or at least you shouldn't be. I mean, I suppose it could be helpful in a defensive situation as well, but God willing, you're never going to be in that situation. Anyway, so your other cities within 9 tiles get +4 loyalty per turn towards your civilization. So that is key. Like, that right there is the most important part of it, that +4 loyalty, because every governor, like every time you establish a governor, you get +8 loyalty in that city. However, so now we have, oh, I thought we had Victor already established up here, but we don't. So we're going to play switcheroo here, and we're going to rotate. Oh wait, hold on, shit. Yeah, we really are doing switcheroo, because we're rotating Victor like musical chairs to Pagoda. So we're going to put him in there because that's where we're going to be doing a lot of our chops next. And so we'll move Pingala. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. We'll move Pingala to Segu because it has a higher population. I was going to put him in Quito, but I forgot we had this city that has had time to heal up. And so the reason I'm doing that is because Segu is a little bit farther down south here. So by putting Victor in here, and we're going to assign him to what, Guayaquil or Guayaquil, I don't know, whatever. We're going to call it Gaia or Guaya. Somebody tell me how to pronounce that, please. I'm just going to call it G-Quill for now. But we're going to put him in G-Quill over here. The reason being is because G-Quill is closer to more of the Egyptian cities than Segu is down here. So if we settle him here, he impacts 9 tiles away, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he gets all the way there. 5, 6, 7, 8. He gets all the way there. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He hits a poo. He hits that one, and he hits this one. Whereas if we were down here, we'd be able to hit this one for sure, and maybe this one. I'm not going to even bother counting because we hit more cities with him there. And then what we'll do is by having him there, then you put other governors in, like when you take the cities here, you put other governors there and you get +12 loyalty in those cities. So he really, really, really is an effective springboard. And then what we'll do is, because this is the last city here that he impacts, once we take, like, again, pronunciation, I don't even know how the hell you pronounce that. If somebody knows to, educate me. I am really curious to know. But IWNW over here, when we finally take this city, we'll springboard him there and then kind of repeat that process. And it just really makes loyalty a non-issue almost, as long as you're doing things properly and moving fast enough. All right, so it looks like we're running out of room where we can see here. We're probably going to have to circle around the mountain range. Oh, but other than that, I think it is time to go declare war. Yeah, because our crossbows can attack, right? Yeah. So, nice knowing you, Antioch. Okay, Antioch swordsman there, and there. Yes, nobody cares. So what we're doing is surrounding the swordsman, so that now if you look at the combat bonus here, you can see on our side in the bottom right hand corner, +4 flanking bonus. That's because of them being close to each other. So if we look at this guy, he has +4, and so does this one, +4. So it just makes it that much more easier for us to go ahead and kill them. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a look. He's not close to promotion. I would have started the attack with him if he was close to being promoted, like one hit could have done it. So this way what we're going to do is actually hit him with our other units that are already promoted so that they take less damage. And then we'll finish him off with this, which will make this horse take less damage, and he'll actually get more experience for the unit kill as well. So it's win-win as far as we're concerned. Anyways, not so much for that unit, but you get it. All right, so anyways here, we are going to go ahead and pillage. Is that not Antioch's? Yeah, there we go. It hadn't registered yet. So we're going to go ahead and plunder their trade route here. And see, that's why I like it only taking up one move. And that's why I go down that side normally. But anyways, so let's go ahead and go after the archer here, shall we? Alright. First archer out of the way. Now, how do we want to do this? Alright, I'm going to move this crossbowman around the back because they have more swordsmen here. So hopefully we're going to lure these swordsmen because they're going to see this crossbow and come into the march, which will be like a killing field. And we're going to go ahead and start hitting them there. And so we're going to move up our general. Same thing with our crossbow here. And again, what we're doing is we're prioritizing killing their units because units kill units faster. And we have all of our catapults here anyways, which will make short work of the city walls. So what we want to do is kill as many of them as quickly as possible so that we can basically have free run of their entire terrain or their territory, and then pillage everything we want and then kill the city real quick. But our catapults will destroy those walls really quick, so that's why it's more important for us to kill their units, which will be able to damage our units that much quicker. We'll move forward here and take another shot at the swordsman. It was good enough to kill him, so that's good. We'll move in with our horsemen there, and then we'll cross the river so that next turn we have an easier way of moving. In the meantime, we'll move in closer with this general too, and then put him to sleep. So now everything is covered by a long shot. With our crossbow, we're not going to bother. They shouldn't be able to attack us next turn because they'll have to step over the hill here, even if they do come after the catapult. So we're just going to hit the city with the catapult because the catapult's meant for destroying walls anyway, so it just makes more sense to do it that way. We have to move in here, but we still should be able to attack, which we can because of the movement bonus from the Commadante General there. And somebody told me, I know I am pronouncing that wrong, saying General, but fuck, that's just the way I like to say it. It's interesting. I think they explained to me that technically it's like Commadante General, or General, but we're just gonna go with the way I've been saying it because I'm having fun with it. And if somebody gets offended, see, I can't even speak English, so how do you expect me to get pronunciation right? No, but if somebody gets offended by that, I truly am sorry. If it bothers you that much, maybe you shouldn't be watching this video. And that comment isn't to the person who told me about that. I think it was Scott. Don't worry about that. Scott or Sean, I'm pretty sure it was one of those two names. But it's not, that comment isn't towards you. It's to anybody who's watching this that's seeing that. Because I know you were just letting me know, and you laughed when I said that I probably wouldn't pronounce it properly. Oh, look at Egypt. Oh, that's cute. That really is cute. Alright, so what Egypt went and did was levy all their units. So she just spent a bunch of her gold to levy these units. So now I can't kill these units at all, which is fine with me because they're going to disappear once I kill Antioch. She can't have Antioch's units if Antioch doesn't exist anymore. So it's only a little bit irritating as far as I'm concerned because I'm worried about not being able to pillage the tiles. Like, for instance, that swordsman sitting on the commercial hub, right? So we can't fucking pillage it. Okay, good. So that horseman can get there. And, oh, see, and because of the march, oh, yes, okay, good. The crossbow can get there. Okay, so we got that. We'll move this horseman onto there. And then that's everything we wanted to pillage except for the commercial hub. So hopefully, because what we'll do is we'll move out of the way there, and we'll move you to there. And the walls are gone. Alright, so now we can pillage freely without being attacked, so we don't have anything to worry about. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So look at, so 237, thank you. And we have to wait till next turn to get the faith. So that's right, this was a quarry, not a mine, so we can't, or that's faith, not gold. However, these two here are mines. So next turn, we'll be able to pillage that. This turn, I think we can. So yeah, another 237 gold. As you can see, this little pit stop killing Antioch is a very good way for us to be able to upgrade all of our Corsairs. Alright, meanwhile, here in the capital, we finished our encampment. Let's take another quick look here. Hold on. Did we finish those projects, or is that next turn? Okay, I'm going to start building a barracks. Okay, so I'm going to start building a barracks here, and we're going to wait, and we're going to see next turn how much this improves our situation here, because, like, Khmer is making 7 a turn. They're going to get there before us, most likely, but we'll see how much of a difference these make, because you get, the way it is, you get 15% of the amount of production gets turned into great general points, I believe. That's the formula, but I hate math and I'm not going to count. Like, so you could do 15% of 15 times however many fucking turns it was. I'm not going to bother. We'll just wait and see, and we'll reassess the situation from there. I mean, never mind. We'll reassess the situation from there. Meanwhile, we finished our trader here, which is perfect, I believe. Oh no, this is our third one, so that sucks. However, we'll get that going on soon. We'll go into a granary here because, we want our cities to grow as quickly as possible so we can get as many districts as possible. Now, what we are going to do, though, again, is we're going to move this to the capital for the same reasons that we already said. We want to boost their production up immensely because we are going to be looking to build the Terracotta Army fairly soon here. So speaking of which, we're going to, after we get castles... So yeah, there you go. Even if we do keep building encampment training in the other cities next turn when we figure that out, we will build the barracks here in Bogota because we want to get the Terracotta Army reasonably soon. And now the only other thing with this is that the reason why I'm choosing a barracks instead of a stable is because we already have a shit ton of cavalry. I don't want any more cavalry. We're going to be focusing, if we get more troops, they're going to be like swordsmen or musketmen. Or sorry, swordsmen, so that we can turn them into musketmen, because we need a little bit of a backbone of the army, and we need to be able to kill cities and whatnot, and be able to, like, be tough enough. Like, cavalry is great for killing units, but you really need other units to take down the cities effectively, especially as you get into the later game and the technology level increases. Other than that, though, it doesn't hurt, so we might as well go ahead and take some shots in order to get some free experience here. Because, I mean, Egypt is their suzerain, so I'm sure the AI isn't going to attack them, even though it technically would be an interesting move if they could swipe in and steal it, if we were like a declared friend or something. But we're not, so it wouldn't really matter. But anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. Meanwhile, though, now that we are almost done that, it makes sense for us to go ahead and move our troops. Oh, never mind. Not to move into Egypt's territory, but to get them ready to do so. So let's go ahead and do that while we still have an open borders treaty. I'm sure it's going to expire any turn now. In the meantime, we'll head up here and heal them up. Alright, so we finished the commercial hub in Kumbi, and we are actually 4 population now, so we are immediately going to go ahead, and play with the tiles here. We're going to swap that and swap that, so that we can immediately throw down this +4 campus. I know it says +3 right now, but once we get these other 2 campuses up, they will be +4s, and then that one will be +6. Speaking of which, beauty, our settler has finally made his long journey. So that actually gave us +4 air score, because we got the 3 air score for settling close to the Wonder, and then another +1 for settling on desert, so that is cool. However, since we only have a couple tiles to buy, I'm not gonna wait and whatchamacallit, I'm not gonna wait and put, oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna buy that because I was like, oh, we can sell it, but I forgot we don't have many people to sell it to, and I think we already sold her an amber. I'm pretty sure we did, so let's not worry about that. Speaking of what we can sell, though, let's go ahead and sell 20 more iron to her and take some gold off her hands. We don't really need it, so it doesn't hurt us at all to get rid of it. It's just basically 3 gold at this point. However, we will start to use some, but again, it's not that big of a deal because we have Magnus promoted the way we do. It's only going to take us 4 iron per swordsman to chop out once we actually start chopping out some swordsmen. Alright, in the meantime, we got this city, so again, we're going to play with the tiles again here. Swap there, and we're going to put a +6 campus down, well, +5 for now. Get rid of that. Now, do we have mathematics? No, we don't. Okay, so, yeah, so our little Petra city can wait. I was, like, debating, should I just switch to mathematics? It is only 2 turns, but no, it's not Petra that's important. We're gonna get castles first. So we're gonna go castles into mathematics for Petra. Then we're actually gonna take apprenticeship for industrial zones, but more importantly for the +1 production to the mines. That goes across the board. And then from there, what we're going to do is reassess the situation. Because there's a couple different things we could do depending on what's more important at the time. For instance, military engineering is a great choice because it's going to unveil Niter on the map, which will help us start looking for locations where we can get that going so that we can upgrade our swordsmen we're eventually going to build into musketmen in fairly short order, as well as being able to have the Niter to upgrade our catapults into bombards real quick, which is nice. However, education's also a good choice to get universities, which will help us just steamroll with science and whatnot and get to our technologies that much faster. So again, we'll reevaluate there, because then also printing is another good choice as well, because if you look here, it provides 1 more level of diplomatic visibility on all other civilizations. What that means, that level of diplomatic visibility means that we get +3 combat strength. Like if our enemies don't have that research, then we get +3 combat strength on us. However, if we don't have that research and they do have it researched, they get +3 on us. So if we both have it, we have a flat playing field of 0. Well, technically they have +4 still because I'm on DD, but without considering difficulty in the situation, without considering difficulty, it would put us on an even playing field. So that's why it's a good idea to go to printing as quickly as we can. But yeah, in the meantime, we have this builder here. Again, we got to wait for a few turns, so there's no point waking him up. We might as well put the turns into the campus for now. So that's what we'll do. We're going to have to take the long way around with our scout here, like we already talked about. Other than that, we're just waiting till next turn so that we can go ahead and sorry, brain fart. So that we can go ahead and pillage those tiles before we kill them. In the meantime, we'll just have you quickly zoom on over here to heal up. Alright, so we finished our encampment training in both places because they were both timed out the same. So let's go back into Great People and take a look. Alright, we're at 199 of 155, so we will definitely go ahead and run another encampment training in both of these places here. Oh, never mind, not in this one. The production here is bad since we did all those chops to the forests, so we'll have to give them some love and get a builder in there to do some stuff. So in the meantime, we'll just get them start working on their barracks, because in 11 turns that will give us one more great general point per turn accumulating, and we have that production boost in of veterancy, right? So we're getting 30% boost towards building that, so it just makes sense that we do it more effectively. And then once Pagoda finishes their barracks in 3 turns, they'll start encampment training too, and then between G-Quill and Pagoda, sorry, small things, small minds, but between those 2 cities and doing those 2 encampment training, that should be enough to secure us the great general points that we're after. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get to our pillaging here. We'll take some faith. Thank you, sir. We'll take some gold. Thank you, sir. And they were really kind enough to get the hell off of our... Oh, wait. Almost moved. Wait, I pillaged that last turn, right? Yeah. Okay. And thank you. As you can see, we got quite the little cash fund now in order to upgrade a bunch of horsemen to start our war on good terms with her. Other than that, let's go ahead and smash in with our catapults here to get them as much experience as we can before we finally conquer the city at 0 health. In case you don't know, there's no point in attacking the city now. It's at 0 health. I'll just waste a turn here to show you an example. So it's at 0 health. This crossbow will not get experience for attacking this because it has no health. See? No experience whatsoever. So that's just saying, so you don't waste your unit's turn or whatever, that's why I stopped. And we take over the city now. And so that unit did get experience because it took over the city. That's why you saw that plus 10 experience. But I just meant like the ranged units or whatever. If say I would have shot it with this catapult wouldn't have gotten any more experience whatsoever because it didn't have health. Anyway, we are going to keep the city. Yes, we are. All right, and so we'll get them to immediately start on their monument to help with loyalty and with culture on top of that. So it's a win-win as far as we're concerned. Now, okay, so we are going to get this great general to move over that way, and this one to move to right there. We'll get that catapult to move there, that catapult to move there, this catapult to move there, and then we'll actually get you to move to right there. We'll get you to go there ahead of time. And so the reason I'm doing that is I want to have the catapult spread out. We're going to use all of them on this bigger city, as I'm assuming that this crossbow is probably going to run into the city quickly here. And then in this other city up here, we'll have the general close enough where it can help the catapults, because the catapults will be shooting from range, right? So we're going to be shooting from like these tiles here. So this general, actually, yeah, we're not going to move you. Sorry, I'm screwing that up. He's going to stay still. And you can see his radius here, so he'll still be able to impact the 2 catapults that are up here, while over here he'll be also able to impact our horsemen that are going to surround Nekon and make their job that much easier when it comes time to actually invade them. Yeah, there's a method to my madness. Other than that, let's get our troops just headed over yonder in that direction. And once the catapults kind of move into place, we'll deal with setting everybody else up properly. We don't want to move... Oh yeah, totally forgot about not moving our horsemen up in time, because we need them to be in our territory, because in 2 turns we're going to be upgrading them to Corsairs. So yeah, and we'll pull you back as well in order for that exact same reason. But I'll wait until next turn. And the reason I'm going to wait until next turn to move this one is so that next turn him and the crossbowmen can actually switch locations, and then we don't lose our good fighting location from another unit. Here we finished our granary. We're going to immediately go back into producing on the campus, and then here, once we get civil service switched out, what we'll do is switch into probably theology in order to go and change our policy cards. I suppose they're okay for now, to be completely honest, but I do want to get that serfdom policy card in as quickly as we can. However, you know what? I think what we'll do is it's only faith anyways, because it's going to be, we're going to pre-research civil service, and then we are going to head into medieval fairs next, and that's a long time too, even if we do get the boost and get 4 trade routes up, which we should fairly quickly here. But anyway, because it's going to be so long, what I am going to do is actually just buy 2 builders here. One, well, actually, I'll buy the next one and we'll go to 2 so it doesn't have to travel as far. Actually, never mind. I take that back. We'll buy it down here. Because they still are 4 charge builders, because we do have the pyramids. So we'll use these 2 builders here, and we're going to chop stuff in Pagoda, because Magnus is established in there anyway, which will chop some of these rainforest tiles, and that will help them get to 10 population, which will trigger the boost for civil service, which will then allow us to switch into serfdom in order to get more builders with more charges all around our other cities, especially for down here in Cali to get these tiles online. And then we'll also be switching into the Corvée policy card so we can chop Petra out. And it'll time out better that way too, because now that I'm thinking about it, Magnus is established here in 3 turns, so we want our builders ready to go so that we can chop as quickly as we possibly can, and then move him down to Cali so that we're ready there as quickly as we can in order to do these 3 chops as well, because Magnus obviously needs to be established in that city, and that'll be perfect because we are still in our autocratic government, so we're still getting that plus 10% production towards wonders, and we're going to be switching out of our autocratic government soon. So this is be the actually that and the Terracotta Army will be the last 2 things that we go to get. So yeah, anyway, enough said. Let's just get back to this. Alright, so you can see here our scout is completely blocked from the territory that we can't get into, because technically we can go through Mexico City. Actually, let's try doing it. Oh, never mind, I just saw a free city there. Never mind, we'll die trying to go past the free city. So what we're going to do instead is we'll actually circle down south, and we'll come around the southern belly here and see what we can see. How many turns? Yeah, 8 turns. We're not going to sit around and wait for 8 turns. Meanwhile, here, we'll hang out and wait until we get our castles. Alright, so we're going to do that little switch we talked about so we don't lose any territory to them. And then next turn we'll move that. Meanwhile, here our crossbows are upgraded, so we'll get them to start heading over. Same thing with our catapults, so they can go there and wait. We're going to shimmy the horse back in. You go there. Alright, so those are all ready and waiting. Okay, and I am going to start... I'm going to do about half and half, I think, because, you know, I really like the pillaging only costs 1 movement point, so I think that's what we'll do there. Other than that, it's just more setting up our armies here, so nothing that special to see. Alright, so here in the capital, what we're going to do is quickly buy this tile. Buy that tile there, so that we have it and can make the Terracotta Wonder, and we're also going to buy this tile up here. Because we're not buying a whole bunch of them, only 2 tiles, and just going to chop what's there. I'm not going to bother waiting to put that policy card in, because we don't have that many choices, since we're only in the 2nd tier governments right now. Other than that, though, we are pretty much good to go. We got that there. I think that should do it for now. I was debating spending some money on 1 more builder, but 8 charges should be more than enough to do what we need to do, and we'll just bank up some faith and buy our next builder down here with faith, and that should time out well, because we do have the builder here. Worst case scenario, it'll only add a couple more turns if we have to chop and then walk him over to these 2 to chop. It's not the end of the world. Alright, so we got our castles. Let's quickly talk to Lady 6 guy here and see if there's anything else we can do to make money. In fact, there is. We can sell her 20 iron, so we'll go ahead and do that for some gold. I think it was 90 something she gave it last time. 97. And then what I'm going to do is, I normally like to hold on to things if we only have one of them, but we're about... Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's not worth it. I was going to sell her the coffee too, because we're about to be getting a whole bunch of new luxuries online, because we're about to go to war here with Egypt in a couple turns. However, for 3 gold per turn, she can suck a dick as far as I'm concerned. Alright, anyways, governors... What am I forgetting? Oh, never mind. I was thinking that we were getting a civic, and I had like policy cards I had to switch before we do it. But, oh shit, I do. Well then. On that note, we got one more turn to wait, I guess. So I was gonna harvest this for money, and then harvest the forest here to get the most production. But we'll get that builder to go there, and we are going to come here, and we'll harvest both of the jungle tiles in order to grow. Actually, shit, I take that back. We'll move over here. Since we're going to be building the wonder there, we might as well harvest that cattle first next turn, so it's not just a complete waste when we overpower the tile. Alright, so we did finish our barracks, which is nice. We'll go ahead and... Never mind, I was going to say we'll do campus research grants, but we're already at 109 out of 120 for this next great general, so we'll be getting that in just a couple turns. So we'll go ahead and build the catapult, and that should work out just fine as far as I'm concerned. And then next turn we'll do these shops here. Meanwhile, we're just going to continue to play around with our troops over here, so retreating back in with you. And even though our great general can just get wiped out by if they move on top of him, we're going to take this slot with him. Because we're not at war yet, they can't do that, and he can technically hold that tile because they can't get him to move off it without going to war with us. So that will hold that tile until our crossbow can get into position, which should time out pretty well, because it looks like next turn we'll have civil service done enough, and then I'm pretty sure that the 2 chops should get us to 10 population here, which will allow us to upgrade our horsemen and then go onward and forward the turn after that. All right, beautiful. So we got mathematics, which means we can lay down our Petra over here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Petra. All right. We got that in. And now... Oh, I'm like, what the fuck? How come I can't switch my cards? I was about to rage. You gotta freaking get the population to 10 first. Alright, so anyways, and let's go quickly. I know these tiles obviously are automatically owned by the city, don't get me wrong. However, I just want to confirm that the other tiles are as well, so that once we actually do get to start chopping the rest of them, none of the production goes to Quito there. So this should be more than enough between the 2 of them. That gets us to 9, and this should get us to 10. Son of a bitch. And I didn't actually need to chop out that catapult, but oh well, too late for that now. But unfortunately for us, it was a little bit short of the mark. So that's fine. We will definitely be chopping more. So you can come down there. And you go there. It looks like our attack is a little bit going to be delayed another turn or 2 here. Completely forgot that I was doing that though. What we will go ahead and do is start work on the Terracotta Army. Oh wait, shit. Yeah, we'll chop again into another catapult because again we don't have a policy card in order to give that a boost. So that's fine. That way we won't be wasting production. And we could always use another catapult anyways. So this one can come up to the north, and we'll send that second one to the north as well. And that way we'll have a good force of catapults and bombards, etc. in each of our each wing of our army, because While for now, for Egypt, they are all together, as you can see, and we're just going to sweep over Egypt. Then we will be diverging from there, and one will go to the north and one will go to the south in order to win our domination game as quickly as we can. We'll be fighting against 2 nations at a time, maybe more, depending on how they go, how the rest of the world responds to us. However, it's a little bit unfortunate because I really would like to get civil service so that we can get an alliance in with her. How many turns left? 12 more. Okay, so we'll be fine. We got 12 turns to form that alliance, so it should be completely fine here. And we're going to pivot into medieval affairs and just wait. And next turn between those 2 chops, we should be able to get up to 10 population and do our switch. Meanwhile, let's go ahead. Oh, the volcano must have went off again. Son of a bitch. So we'll repair the commercial hub before anything else because we need money in order to keep our armies going. Alright, so next turn we got our great person here, so let's go ahead and grab our lovely general. That is sweet. And now let's go back and take another look at that. And alright, so they're going to beat us to the next one, unfortunately. However, we should have a good chance of getting another great general fairly soon here. So you're going to do your barracks. You can actually switch into, since we already secured it, switch into your barracks while we have that promotion card on, because then after these 2 barracks, then we can switch out and we don't have to have that veterancy policy card taking up a slot, and then we can save that two turns left of encampment training for the next great general after we free up our policy card slot. Anyway, so you are going to zoom down there, see it. Oh, I love when you zoom to there. I love that freaking monumentality golden age. Even if you don't have a lot of faith and whatnot, it's still, you get 30% discount of gold too on your items, but then on top of that, the movement speed just makes like terraforming and developing your infrastructure so much easier. Anyway, so this should definitely do the trick here. Nice. Alright, so it does perfect. So we can change our policy cards here. Now we're going to get rid of strategos. We're going to keep raid in because we're going to war in like 2 seconds. And we are going to put our upgrading policy card back in. We're leaving veterancy in for the next 4 or 5 turns. We're going to get rid of science though, and are going to put in not corvée, serfdom, in order to get our extra builder charges, so we can get those going as quickly as we can. Because we still have a couple more chops here. Well, more than a couple, obviously. How much is it going to be? How much faith? Just out of curiosity. Oh, fuck, I can't even see that. 145. Sorry, I'm playing on my 65-inch TV, and it's in the top right corner, and it's grayed out, so because we can't afford it, so it's very hard to see. Other than that, how long is it going to be until we change policies again? Fuck. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh well, whatever. See, I screwed up. I didn't put I forgot that we were going to get Terracotta Army, so I forgot to put the corvée policy card on instead of serfdom, because I was thinking about only putting the corvée policy card in for the Petra, and I was like, oh, we're not building that yet, so we don't need it. Totally forgot about the Terracotta Army. But then I also screwed up on top of that. Before I get the Terracotta Army, I want to chop out some actual ground troops, like swordsmen, and I totally forgot to switch that too, so we're going to have to wait for 3 turns, and we're going to not chop out as many as I would have liked to. It's a little bit unfortunate. However, we do have 10 population now though, so that does mean that we can go ahead and place another district. However, we have to wait for 2 turns, and I do want to get the industrial zone, so I'll wait for 2 turns. That's fine. So we're going to have to, our chopping is going to go on to a hiatus for 2 turns. So we have the choice of which side of the army we want our great general to be on. And the first one we're going to send down to the south here, because we want to be able to, our catapults to be as strong as they possibly can, and we actually have the majority of our crossbows over here as well, so to me it just makes sense to do it that way. And then whenever we get the next one, that's when we'll send him with the cavalry up in the north as well. Other than that, so that was a slip up, a little bit unfortunate, not much you can do. However, in the meantime, and you know what, I don't want it to take forever, so I'll go into theology and just hard research that for the 3 turns. Meanwhile, so we're going to start upgrading our horsemen, and again, like I talked about the first time when we were upgrading our crossbows, prioritizing the ones with promotion, so that's exactly what we want to do here in this instance as well, because we most likely won't be able to afford to upgrade every single one of them. We will just upgrade starting with the ones that are promoted, because they are obviously the strongest and most durable and will do the most damage. Alright, so that's all the promoted ones over yonder, and then it looks like none of these ones are promoted. And so since they are, and I do want to have 2 different flanks to my army, I'll promote all 3 of these ones first, even though they don't have the promotions. And I think I can get 1 more. And we'll promote this one, just because I was thinking about sending these horses, or sorry, the coursers to the south, but then I was looking at it and there's an encampment there, so it'll be much easier for us to come in as just a solid wall and go that way, rather than swing around and flank them. So we'll do it that way. Ooh. And then just looking at our gold count, we definitely want to get that up and running again as quickly as we can. Shit, so yeah, you know what? We will actually sell that. It's a little bit disappointing, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, so we'll take that, and we'll just take as much bulk gold as she'll give it us for it. And the reason I'm taking bulk gold is because she's not, like we already checked, she's not giving us that much gold at all for it. However, this now gives us like 9 turns essentially, or well, 8 turns I guess it would be technically, of leeway before we run out of money, because if we run out of treasury, then they're gonna start disbanding all of these units that we've worked so hard to get. So we definitely want to avoid that, and then it'll give us 3 turns here. We need to get the conscription card back in. Remember that gold card, if we got like the military policy one. If we take a look at our policies here, putting that card in will give us plus 19 gold, so more than enough than we need in order to counterbalance the weight of our huge army here. Alright, so now that our units are all upgraded though, next turn we will definitely get them into position here, and then we'll either declare, we'll be declaring war the following turn so that they have full movement in order to begin the engagement with. So T-minus 2 turns until we declare war. Alright, so I just got a notice that the barbarians were approaching, but it's just a quadrime from them, so there's literally nothing they can do to us. They could sit there and attack our city to their heart's content, and they'll never be able to destroy it because they don't have any galleys with them in order to conquer it. So that is basically a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. But popping down here to see that notice, I did get to see that Nyani is only 2 turns away, so once they hit that 4 population, we'll be able to start work on their campus as well. Meanwhile, we're still 2 turns out. Oh, because we switched out of that science card. I was like, I thought it was 2 turns last turn, but because we changed our policy card here, that changed things for us, so that is a little bit unfortunate. However, it is what it is. In the meantime, I think we have enough catapults. However, it would be nice to have a siege tower for when we eventually do start to get melee units, so that's what we'll go ahead and do, is we'll start on that next. And again, I'm not going to waste the big chops on it. However, I will chop rainforest into it. And then there you go. And that's the last chop. I won't chop again into it. I'll just let that finish out normally, because it'll work out 2 turns and 2 turns with apprenticeship. And then we'll be able to lay down our industrial zone there. And then we'll chop into that properly. And so with the builder, we'll get them to head up onto there as well. Meanwhile, we finished a granary here. Let's get them to just start working on a builder. I mean, we're going to be switching out of it in 2 turns anyway. However, it would be nice to get one out and do some more improvement. Alright, so it looks like we're completely shit out of luck here as far as getting a peek inside or even around the edges that much of there. However, since there's nothing we can do, we tried our best. Might as well go up to Mexico City here. And we'll wait and cross over. And then we'll just wait for, actually, by the time we get back there, this hill will flip. Oh, never mind. That hill will have flipped to Nubia, but we might be able to squeeze in through there. And if not, we'll just come up around and go to the north somehow. Okay, so now it's time to move all of our troops into position. And again, we're going to be leaving anybody who's not upgraded, we're going to be leaving them behind. Because we have more than our fair share of ones that are upgraded. Yeah, like I'm talking about it like it's a lot or something. There's literally 2 fucking horses that aren't upgraded. We're going to be leaving them behind. But anyway, you get the point. Meanwhile, we are ready and waiting to go into battle mode next turn, and that's exactly what we'll do next turn. As soon as everybody has fresh legs again, we will declare our war and kick off the battle with Egypt. I actually did. We got another movement on the catapult here, so all I did, it was coming from the north here, so I just moved our coursers out of position here to let it get through on the roads, and it was able to come all the way to here, so it'll be able to take the first shot, and then clearly we have lots of movement with our coursers. We'll be able to deal with that accordingly, and it'll put us into a better position to attack for next turn. Oh, didn't realize we had fishing boats on, so never mind, I take it back. They can pillage the one improvement that we do have. Forgive me. Alright, here we go. Beautifully timed out. We got apprenticeship, so now we can build our industrial zone, so let's go ahead and log that, so I'll be a chant. Again, it's only showing up as +3 right now, however, once we get this aqueduct and then that industrial zone online, it will be +6. Oh, sorry, and that as well, my bad. But, gotta walk before you run. Let's start with that. Now, let's do the policy cards before I forget. So we are getting rid of, getting rid of professional army. One second. How many turns? 2 turns. Oh, oh yeah, we are. Okay, so yeah, we're actually gonna get rid of veterancy. They can finish their barracks on their own. They're close to it anyway, like 2 or 3 turns away. So we are gonna put in raid. So yields gained from pillaging are up +50%. We're going to get rid of professional army because we're not upgrading anymore. We're going to put in conscription so that we don't go completely broke. And then what we're going to do is actually put in feudal contract here. It's +50% production towards ancient, classical, medieval, and Renaissance era melee and anti-cavalry, etc., etc. And oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't have enough faith. Never mind. How many turns? Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. How many turns is it until we get to next one? 6 turns. We already had a boost. Okay, so yeah, we will go to guilds. So 6 turns isn't bad. Yeah, so never mind. Alright, so we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that. Put raid in there. We're putting feudal contract and conscription, and then we'll leave serfdom in there because it gives us a chance to get a couple builders before we switch into corvée in 6 turns. So we'll leave serfdom in. That is what we want. Confirm, confirm. All right. And nice, we finished our siege tower too, so we'll have some support for our swordsmen that we're going to be chopping out here in a second. Alright, so first things first. I'm just thinking about what I want to prioritize. We'll wait to chop the units because we don't have much gold. Okay, so yeah, we're going to chop this. We're going to chop our industrial zone. And we'll let that finish, and then next turn we'll go ahead and chop You can move there next turn. Oh wait, sorry, you have one charge left. Yeah, you go there. And then we'll chop here next turn. Oh, actually, no. No. That's stupid. You go there, because you're on that side of the river. My bad. Anyway, and then next turn, we'll wait for this to finish, and then we'll chop into the workshop after that in order to really boost their production up in the city here. Other than that, now, we have got an apprentice. Their apprenticeship. Let's take a look at this again. You know, our science is actually pretty on par with the rest of them. I think we definitely want to go... Oh, actually, never mind. Printing is billed to universities, so we're not going to be earning a great scientist. We're going to have to hard research this, so let's... Actually... Forgive me. Okay, so we're going to go military engineering first. And we're going to research it until it gets to 60% of it, until it's to the point where a boost will finish it, because we will be we will be building an aqueduct very shortly, so we'll actually probably do that in the capital and take advantage of that increased production that we got them. So we will put a little bit of time into this and then switch into education, because we're going to have to hard research that anyway, which will allow us to then get universities easier, which will hopefully allow us to speed up printing. But either way, after thinking about it more, I want to get to gunpowder and metal casting faster. Like, I care about that more than I care about the -3 combat strength there, so that is why I'm choosing to go the route that I'm choosing. Other than that, we finished our campus here in Segu. We're immediately going to go ahead and... Fuck it. I was going to say that we're immediately going to go get a library, but we are immediately going to go start the aqueduct so that our transitions happen faster and we get the niter out on the map that much quicker. Alright, meanwhile here, let's go ahead. Antioch got damaged. I was like, did the volcano go off? I forgot. Yeah, my bad. So now that we got our commercial hub up and running, let's get the granary repaired first and the watermill after that. So we'll queue this up so we don't have to keep coming back to it. We'll go granary and watermill in order to get their food production and their housing back up online so that the population comes up quicker, which their population being increased will allow them to build things faster and repair stuff faster, which will allow them to build their market. However, because we want to lock it in right away, I definitely don't want to put it near the volcano. That's why I'm not going for this +2. I know it's dormant right now, but there's nothing that says it's going to be dormant, and plus we already have a mine on there as well. Actually, +2 harbor. Yeah, I don't want to make a useless harbor. Yeah, whatever, we'll risk it. So let's go ahead and lock the price of that in there, but immediately go back to the granary. That's fine. I'll risk it, because then what we'll do is we'll put another unit there. Oops. Getting ahead of myself. Probably an encampment district. And then it'll be a +3 once those are done, and hopefully that volcano just stays dormant. Otherwise, it's probably going to turn out to be a really bad decision in the long run. Meanwhile, do our troops have full movement? Yes, they do, which is bad news. Oh, bad news for me. Never mind. We'll attack next turn. Because Cleopatra took that tile there, like, into her territory. So we'll pull back. We'll pull back. We'll pull back 1 slot. And then next turn we'll attack, because everybody again will have full movement. We have gotten 2 envoys here, so we're going to go ahead and take control of Valletta right now. This will give us some extra production in the capital for now when producing units, and then also in Quito and Jiquil in a few turns there as well when they're producing units, so that will definitely help out. Other than that though, again, I'm literally just sitting here clicking on units and clicking end of turn or skip turn. So yeah. Alright, so we are good to go. Let's go ahead and declare the war. Hey everybody, sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger like this. However, when I was originally recording this video, don't worry, all the footage is all good. It's all no problems like that whatsoever. However, I had originally planned on recording a huge long video that had the entire medieval era inside of it, and then by the time I actually got through with playing the medieval era, it is just stupid long how long it takes to get through. So we are scrapping that, and we are doing a cut here. You'll have to come back next time to see how the war with Cleopatra goes. Other than that though, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner of the screen right now if you're interested in finding out more about the different mods that I use. They don't affect gameplay at all, they're just UI mods, but you've seen me use them, like it makes the trading easier, and then looking at the different government policy cards to see which ones are the most powerful and stuff. I'll link that in the top right hand corner. You can check that out if you're interested in finding out more about those. Other than that though, we are going to call it a wrap for this video, so if you haven't already, please do me a favor and leave a like on the video. It really does go a long way towards helping a small channel like me grow, and clearly I need all the help I can get. So anyways, I've rambled enough, at least for this video, so I'm just gonna shut up now, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.